In light of the postponement of general elections, there is some disappointment by residents who thought that with a ministerial government, the country would see more development, thus more jobs available. The Governor Gordon Wetherell said that Turks and Caicos is now open for business.
Obviously, it's in all our interests, and primarily in the interests of the Turks and Caicos Islands, to see economic development. I think we all know what the difficult economic and financial times, regionally and globally, that we're living in, and these have impacted on all countries. I mean, they've impacted the TCI in the UK, other countries in the region, the US itself, and so on. And that sort of point about the need to do more, if you like, in terms of stimulating the economy. But also one of the messages that that came out clearly in the various meetings that the minister had, as they also did, of course, when Mr. Rossendale is there. So while I think that a fair amount has been done, certainly in terms of changing the fiscal framework within which business operates, which I think is now a more conducive one. While we remain open for business and encourage developments where possible.
Governor Wetherell said it was only last week where he met with developers.
We had a sort of meeting earlier this week with potential developers of a resort in Providenciales, which I actually hope will come to fruition. We'd all like to see a little bit more, and there are various ways of doing this which we need to work on. And I think an important way of doing that is in fact with some of the sort of proposals for revamping, if you like, the way that we market the TCI as a tourist destination, which I hope we can progress soon. There's work in hand to make the TCI Invest a real sort of one-stop shop that can provide helpful services to a totality of helpful services to potential investors, and we like, obviously, to be in a position where the funding for these bodies enables the maximum amount of projection of the TCI as a good destination for both tourists and investors to take place.
In terms of Helen Garlick and her Special Investigation Prosecution team's plan for future prosecutions,
I fully take that point, and I'm sure Helen Garlick will be the first to agree, that it's in all our interest to get that process done and dusted as soon as possible, so that we can move on. And I'm sure she is. I have every confidence that she is actually progressing it as fast, but also as thoroughly as possible. Inevitably, there are some pretty complex and very detailed issues to work through in these matters. But she's. I think last time she had a press conference 4 or 5 months ago. I think she stated then that she had a timetable of around 18 months or so. To the extent that can be brought forward, of course, it would be great. But I don't want sort of myself to speak for her on this matter, because I've got every confidence that she's doing both a thorough job and moving as expeditiously as possible.
For WIV4 News, I'm Takara Bain.